So today for the MR2, we're gonna do a power mirror and power window conversion. So the first thing we're gonna do on this journey is we're gonna take off the door cards and fit the power window regulators onto this door. So over here, I have the OEM window regulators and we're gonna fit them onto the door. So right now I got most of the stuff off. Don't mind these aftermarket actuators, but I do plan to use them anyway. But from the research I've done on the forums, the power window regulators should bolt on directly onto any door of an MR2. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna start unbolting this regulator, and then we're gonna start putting on the power window regulator. OEM manual window regulator out. Time to throw in the power window regulator. So after you bolt on these two bolts, there's two more bolts that you would have to use to mount the motor onto the door. So I created this window bezel with an aftermarket switch. I didn't finish the install just because it was raining and the car is all now like dirty, but fuck it. So now we got the window motor installed. We did test it out with the aftermarket wiring harness that I plan to use, and it works. To mount it, let me get this off. Where you mount it on the door is right here. So instead, usually OEM for the manual doors are on these 4 holes. You would reuse 2 of them, and you would use those 2 at the top right there. So that's where you'll mount the window motor. And then you would also reuse these holes right here. This one's covered by the door card cup, the one that's like kind of like a handle. Once you pull that off, I'm talking about this piece right here. Once you pull that off, exposes that bolt, and then you can pull out that bolt as well. So then I'm gonna roll down the window. As you can see, it works. So there's one bolt there, and then the other bolt is over here, right there. So that's the next bolt that bolts onto the window, and then that's how you get the window motor onto the door. All right, guys. Also a little tip: if you are struggling to get the holes aligned, which is 1, 2, 3, and then 4, and here's the window motor, you can use a 9-volt battery to adjust it. You'll hear it. Like if you line it up, there, well, it fell. But you can use it to, adjust the window motor to line up with these holes. So that's just a little tip. So we're gonna be taking apart the passenger side now and installing the window motor regulator for the passenger side, as well as taking it apart. actuator out. There we go. Out. And this one is going in. Once again, 9-volt tech around the window motor. Help us change the angle a bit. Oh, I want it lower. There you go. And you just reverse the polarity if you want it to go up or down. And then as you can see, oh, nice. Nice. There we go. So the motors are in. Tested it with the switches, they work well. So after that, we're just gonna do some cable management, route the wires, and figure out a power source for this thing. Regarding the connectors, I just used, I bought these off of eBay and got the pins. All I'm gonna do is depin it because this is also from eBay. I just cut off the ones from the kit. Usually the kit would come with something like this, but I cut it off, put some different pins for at least this side, and then I'm gonna do the same for the MR2 side so it can connect. So before I get started on finishing up the MR2's wires / cable situation, I wanted to show off a little bit about my configuration. So the configuration I'm going with is that I designed and 3D printed these bezels, which are supposed to be housing aftermarket switches, which use an aftermarket harness. And I got that aftermarket kit from Amazon. And for the power mirrors, I'm using this controller that I got off of Highlander, but there's many other Toyota and Lexus Scion cars that use this same controller, and they all have the same pinout, which I made a wiring diagram to work with the MR2 power mirrors, which I will be listing in the description. This is the passenger one. So I will be selling these products if you guys are interested in following my configuration, but this could also work with a lot of other things, but this is mainly for the power door cards, which I have. You guys already seen a little bit about my configuration earlier in the video, where I am using an aftermarket harness, which I got from Amazon. And the reason why I'm going this route is because I was having a little bit hard time finding these parts, and plus some of the stuff I seen on eBay were really expensive. So I decided to just make my own, and it works great, as you'll see in the video. But now that you guys see my configuration, I'm gonna get started with the harness, with tucking in the harness that I made, which is this big old mess right here. This harness is for the power mirrors. So once I tuck that in, I'll show you guys a little bit of test on that. The power window conversion is now complete. So I did all the cable management, tucked it in. I had to fish all the wires through this little grommet here so I can make it as clean as possible. And they look really good. I think they fit pretty well. And of course, I was gonna show you it in action right now. It's going up and down. Oh, look, someone's passing by. And then not only that, the mirrors also work. You see it's tilting to the left. Oh, wait, oh, it's all the way to the left already, but here, it's going to the right, going down, up, and of course, when you go to the right, it does the same if you see it. Oh, see, look, it's moving. Damn, my car is dirty. I gotta wash it. But as you can see, it's working fine, and it looks really good. See, driver's side window goes down, so I'm pressing on passenger. Passenger goes down. And a cool tip for people who have leaky T-tops, you could adjust the window so it presses into the door a little bit more. And I haven't had any leaks on it. I gave it a wash like not too long ago. And then this is the passenger side. So yeah, I'm really happy with it. As you can see, it's working. So yeah, so that's the power window conversion kit that I created for the SW20 MR2. So that's gonna conclude this video on the MR2. That's pretty much it. It wasn't as difficult as I thought it was gonna be. It was a little intimidating getting into reading wiring diagrams and all that, and then stuff about gauges with making the wire harness, but it wasn't that bad. And I think it turned out pretty well. It's a nice, neat thing. I do plan to sell it, so if anyone's interested in that, it will be on my Etsy store. I'll leave the link in the description. And if you guys have any questions, just let me know. Message me, PM me, whatever. And I made this kit just to make a budget option. I found parts were a little scarce and a little expensive, so I decided let's try making my own. Let's see if I can make, you know, a budget option to modernizing the MR2 if anyone wanted to do. I mean, it's not modernizing it because it had power windows before, but it's just a budget option to add power windows to your MR2. I am also going to put a link to my forum post I made about it. It's going to include my wiring diagram for the Highlander switch to the MR2 mirrors. So yeah, don't be afraid to ask me any questions if you're curious to know something or to pick my brain. But other than that, yeah, this will conclude the video. Thank you.